VOSTEED just got, or well, they haven't dropped it yet. It'll be available at the beginning of August, but this is the slimmest knife that VOSTEED has ever done, and possibly the thinnest knife I've ever seen. Just to show you how thin this knife is, here is the Benchmade Bug Out, also known as a very slim knife. Look at how much slimmer that is than the Bug Out. Far, far slimmer. Here's one of the TRMs, also known for being very, very slim. Again, same thing. Very, much thinner than that. Quiet carry weight point, 90 thousandths blade stock. This is very, very slim, and it is even thicker than the VOSTEED. Now, there's one knife. I'm gonna flip it open for you guys so you guys can see the blade. There's one knife that is thinner than this, and that is this Schrade. Now, here's the issue. I personally think this is an unusable knife. I would never recommend it to anybody for two reasons. One, while it might be the thinnest knife I've ever experienced, and it is even thinner than the VOSTEED, look at how thin the scales are on each side compared to the titanium scales over here. These steel scales on this side are so thin, they're sharp. So when you're trying to squeeze it, it is painful to push through anything. Then they put thick geometry, you know, on this knife, which makes it to where it's going to be even more difficult to push through materials. So it is just incredibly too sharp. And then look, it's almost at 100% lockup, and it's barely been used. It's almost painful to disengage because of how sharp this is. This just went up and beyond thin. It's too thin. It's like I said, to me, it's unusable. This one, however, has a very slicey blade. Very, very slicey. Let's check the thickness on that blade, actually. Yeah, look at that. 77 thousandths. Holy cow. That is awesome. My goodness. Let's check the thinness behind the edge. Now, it's their edge angle, so I expect it to be even thinner than it will be with my edge angle. We'll say 15 thousandths, right around there. With my edge angle, it'll probably be like 16, 17. But very, very, very slicey. So that's awesome. And the scales, being titanium with an aluminum backspacer, they still hold a little bit of thickness that makes it to where you can squeeze it more comfortably. Now, I'm not saying you're going to want to bear through or you know, push this thing through dense, thick cardboard, because I wouldn't want to. But for just regular light duty, everyday carry purposes, you need to make a cut, you need to open something up, this would be just fine. And if you did have to break down a box or something, it's not going to be too painful as long as it's not too dense and you're not doing it for too long. Now, the thumb studs are raised up proud of the scales just slightly, so they're very easy to get to for such a slim knife. I can reverse flick it or thumb flick it. The crossbar has nice grippy texturing on there, so you can easily disengage it. It is riding on ceramic caged bearings, so very, very smooth. Definitely has the smooth factor. Now, the crossbar, you can see just how slim all of this is inside that whole mechanism. It's crazy how thin this thing is. Now, the one downside to this thing being so thin with a crossbar lock specifically is that you pull down like this, so it does kind of push in your hand. Now, it's not painful by any means, but you do notice it. You instantly say, wow, that's very slim when you disengage it. But like I said, not painful. Deep carry clip, wire clip that's reversible. Love to see that. These clips are very smooth. They're the best functioning clips. Not everybody likes the look of them. Some people think they look cheap, but a lot of people love them just because of the ease of carry. You know, it's one thing to carry a pocket knife that has a really nice clip but tears up your pockets, or one that, you know, might not look very expensive but damn sure works the best. Backspacer is an aluminum green, matching thumb studs, 154 cm blades. I don't even think I've said that yet. And this thing will be available in August. I don't know if I said that either. I'm sorry, guys. The beginning of August, if I didn't say it. So, beginning of August, this thing should be available for you guys to purchase. I do have a couple negatives, though, of course. So, let's talk about a couple negatives really quick. One, the sharpening tool and plunge grind, of course. Ah, man, why'd they fumble this one? let me see the stop pin. So the stop pin is actually the crossbar, which falls directly into this groove back here, like about right there on the tang of the blade, right? Yeah, it tucks up underneath right there. So there's plenty of room for this thing to have a proper choil, proper plunge grind, proper choil. Could have just been like a half a circle right there. That would have separated the plunge grind from the edge. That would have been better in my opinion. So that's just one negative. Is it a deal breaker? No, but it's definitely a negative in my book. Like I said, the slim factor does make it to where one, you know, it's pressing into your hand. It's something you acknowledge, not a negative, but it's something you acknowledge. Now, one negative downside would be, no, it's not going to be something you're going to want to bear down. You're not going to want to do anything with wood. You're not going to want to press it through very dense cardboard, but you can in a pinch. And I don't think most people are doing that stuff long term. And if they are, they're going to pick a specific knife to do that with. My next negative is T6s. I wish they were just T8s all the way around. We do have a couple T8s for these body screws and the clip, so I don't understand why this one, I mean, I know it's just holding onto the inside liners for the crossbar lock, but why not just make them T8s? I know they're bigger, but it would just match. You to use one bit through the whole thing to take it apart. No up and down. No side to side. Got a little bit of flex, of course. That's just because it's so damn slim. I actually would prefer that because it's so slim. 154 cm. Great mid-range steel. Its edge retention is just under S35 VN. So it's pretty close to S35 VN. So it's a great steel. It's going to hold a great edge. It likes a toothy edge. In my opinion, I don't think you want to put a polished edge on it. You can put a polished edge on it. You can do that. But it likes a toothy edge better. It tends to get a little slick with a polished edge. So, you know, the lower you put your angle, the better when it comes to that. But either way, I say with 154 cm, stick to 600 to 1200 grit. And that's usually, from my experience, from my testing, that's its sweet spot. That's where that's where it shines. That's where it hangs onto the most amount of bite for the long haul, because otherwise it gets slick. Now the edge on this did not come the sharpest, but this is a prototype. They were trying to get it to me pretty quickly because, you know, these things are coming out pretty soon. So I'm not bitching about it at all. I'm a sharpener. I can easily sharpen it. And you know, like I said, it probably just got over polished because it feels like a sharp edge. It just feels like it was over buffed a little bit, which 154 cm is very easy to buff or to over polish. That's why I also think that you shouldn't try to go too high in grit, because it's very, very easy to over polish it, over strop it, or over whatever to where it doesn't have bite. So that's why I said keep it in the medium grit. You're just fine, you know. It does well with low edge angles, you know, not going to do as well as, you know, certain steels, but it still does pretty damn good with low edge angles, which also increases the sharpness. Yeah, so all in all, awesome little knife. Definitely something that anybody could carry because it's so damn thin. Like, so you damn near carry it in anything, like little EDC pouches, EDC packs, backpacks, whatever. This is something that you could easily add into your arsenal, and it wouldn't even add any weight or well, a little weight, but not real weight. It's not going to add anything to the point to where now, you know, you have too much in your bag or too much in your pouch or whatever. This is the perfect little tool to carry in an EDC pouch or in, you know, whatever, even a pocket organizer. This would be awesome to have in there. So there you guys go. Just a quick look at one of the new VOSTEED models. What is the name of this? Did I even say the name? I don't know if I have the name. Anyways, just a quick look at the new VOSTEED model that will be coming out at the beginning of August. Work hard, stay tough. Until next time, peace.